Hey, Jess here. I want to chat with you for a few minutes about the seemingly simple things in our lives that we want to change that actually end up being super, super difficult. Just because something's simple doesn't make it easy. And I want to give you some of the tips and tricks that I've personally used to make that happen. And so the first thing is really just connecting with why you want to make that change. What is it that's creating the desire to make that change? The reason behind it, right? The next thing is anticipating the barriers to success. There's always going to be something, an excuse, an obstacle, or whatever that could potentially keep us from being successful. So if we can know those things up front, then we're in a much better place. And the last thing is celebrating our wins, right? Along the way, there's a lot of big and little things that we need to just honor ourselves with. We tend to beat ourselves up and say we're not good enough, but give yourself some grace and then honor the little things that you've been able to do. So a little example of this is recently I've been managing to wake up before 5 o'clock in the morning, which is insane because most of my life I've probably seen 5 o'clock as a bedtime, definitely not a wake time. And this all started a few years ago when I read The Miracle Morning. And I got to see the difference from my 15-minute wake up, rush out the door routine to what a slow, intentional morning can really do for me. And for me personally, it allowed me to be much more clear and calm, centered, present. I was more prepared for the day. I wasn't showing up places late or without things. And I was, happy. I wasn't hangry because I didn't remember to bring enough food, or, I wasn't running around with a chicken with my head cut off. So I was involved in what's been going on in the day, and that's been super helpful for me. And that's why I want to get up at 5 o'clock, because typically I need to be out of the door at 8 o'clock in the morning. So in order to do that, my morning routine that's slow and intentional takes about 3 hours. So hence a 5 o'clock wake up time. Still not loving it, but I'm getting there. And that's the super exciting part. So find out why, right? For me, it was so much about productivity and connection and positivity that's why it was so important for me to make that change. I was able to understand that I had two really big barriers, one the night before and the day of. So my barriers were really just the decision to keep working or go to bed, right? I have a tendency to just keep working and working and working. And so I was able to connect that choice in my head to understand that if I go to bed now, I'll be able to get up earlier and really enjoy my morning versus what am I actually getting accomplished this late at night. And then in the morning, for me, I really needed that accountability piece. So I have adjusted my gym schedule to find a class first thing in the morning. There's team training at 5:15 in the morning, which still sounds kind of gross to me, but I'm making it happen. And so now I have an accountability piece of something that I actually need to get up and go to, and people expect to see me there. So that's super helpful, because otherwise I'd probably roll over in bed, perfectly honest. And the last part is just the celebrating successes. So along the way, there's always these small things that we were able to accomplish, whether it's 2 weeks of waking up at, an earlier time, but not quite to your goal. Celebrate that. That's awesome. You're taking steps to get there. Nothing was built in a day. So we have to remember that. We have to honor each step as we take it and celebrate, because otherwise you're just going to beat yourself up. We're typically our worst critics, and that's no fun. So honor who you are and what you're doing and the hard work that you're putting in. Because like we said, this may be simple, but it's sure as heck not easy. So when you are trying to make a simple yet very difficult change, make sure that you connect with the reason why you are making that change. You find ways to anticipate the barriers to success and do something about them. And then don't forget to celebrate the wins that you have along the way. If this is helpful, love for you to share it out, or send me a message. Tell me how you're using it in your life. You can catch me at jess@toporganizing.com, and I look forward to seeing you soon.